Hi, welcome back.
Yes, we're back and we're trying to be consistent, guys. So we're back again, back on the consistency train. Giving you what you guys want.
Yes. So, Jody, jumping right in. Who
Yes,
is the goodie
jumping
of the week?
right in, diving right into the goodie of the week. We have here a homeless man that found a beautiful. Wow, this baby was really cute, but not like beautiful baby.
The baby pretty though. Them
Yes,
people oh God, the baby nice. Me I
the
said,
beautiful baby in Coronation Market in Kingston, Jamaica. And he, of course, called the officials, and they definitely came and, collected the baby, carried the baby to the hospital for necessary checks to be done. And, I thought to myself, of course, people, when they think of homeless people, they think of people who are like crazy. Automatically, it's the two. They associate the two, and I don't think that's all right, because this homeless person may just have had a hard life. Something may have happened, and they lost all their privileges of a home and all of that, and they're homeless. It doesn't mean that they're not, mentally stable, and so they would have known what to do in this case. They didn't just kind of like teeth the baby and try to sell it, because things happen like that. And so, big up to him. I'm not sure what his name is, but he is a blessing in disguise, because this baby could have been faced a different fate of danger and, theft on top of being abandoned. So, kudos to this person. I really hope that this
yeah,
baby
for
finds a
real.
home.
I'm really confused as to how I'm hoping they can track the person because one I've seen people bashing the mother a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
then two guys, there is something called postpartum depression, and it
Mm-hmm.
really makes you do things that you wouldn't normally do. So I don't think we should condemn her or think that she's a bad person. I
Yeah.
mean, it was unfortunate,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but I mean, I don't know. I guess, and don't feel like oh, I have had somebody who went through postpartum and they didn't do this. No,
Right. It
it
affects
hits
people
you.
differently.
It affects each person differently. So if you're even a mentally unstable person and that happens, like it will make you do crazier than normal things. So I
Right.
think that we should not condemn her.
No.
But really, she definitely needs to be found and some counseling or guidance because that baby is going to need some care or something. But it was
Yes.
but the homeless man, big up yourself because
Yes.
trust me, you have people at thief baby, you have
Yes.
people at
And sell them.
like
Yeah, that could
sell
have happened.
them.
So the baby got into the right hands, and hopefully the baby finds a good home after this, and really could find a loving family to raise raise her. Yeah, it's a girl, right? Yeah.
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 It's on the other hand, though, on the flip side, it's sad because you have some people who really want kids and can't have
Yes.
kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of sad. I can see both perspectives as why people would be like upset or
Yeah.
whatever. But I mean, big up yourself, Mr. Homeless Man. I don't know your name. You were the goodie of the week. I know you're not listening to the podcast, but
Big up same way.
pick up same way. Okay, so our trending topic this week, right? So Jody loves to tease, so let me tease with Jody. So there has been a lot of in our society we notice that a lot of women is only certain type of women get respect when they make certain claims. So the topic is only good girls deserve justice, right? So this is basically so there's a trend in society that only if a girl is considered a good girl that she has a right, and I say good girl in quotations, that she has a right to certain justices, right? When she's a victim of certain crimes. So basically, so this is kind of stemming from the Maja hype and Kirby situation. We didn't want to speak on it before because, we wanted all of the facts, but I just think that we didn't like how it has become a separate issue. And we're not, as we always say every week, Jody knows, we're not speaking on Maja hype and Kirby. We're speaking on the situation, right? So the situation is that Kirby accused her boyfriend of domestic violence, and the issue, a lot of sex tapes and things came out, and the
Mhm.
issue has now become, oh, she's a this, she's a that.
Right.
It
To,
don't
to
matter.
me,
Did
straying
she,
away
did she
from
get
the point
attacked?
at hand, because
Yeah.
again, when people, because I've spoken about this with other persons, and they're just like, guys, too. And, it's funny because I was just like, it's two separate things. So it's either so it's the two separate things being, yes, he allegedly abused her for some time and she's speaking out about it, and the separate situation is this is the issue of cybercrime. She's also a consenting adult. I feel like the two of them were consenting adults in whatever activities they were partaking in. I guess the only wrong that they're seeing now and flipping it from it is that she was engaged. It's allegedly still engaged doing these activities in the period at which they were filmed and whatever. But my thing is like, yeah, are we justifying that she should have been abused because of this? Like I'm a little confused.
Right? I'm so confused because it's just like, okay, yes, okay, fine. If she have, I don't care if she was a sex worker, if she had 100. The issue at hand is the domestic violence, and I feel like it's only in society, it's only a certain type of girl that they give justice. So you have to be sweet, you have to be meek. It's like when you go to the police station and they say, you say you were attacked by a man. What were you doing? What were you wearing? No, I should not.
Exactly.
And don't get me wrong,
That boils my blood because I'm just like,
it
hello.
boils me. And let me tell you, don't get me wrong, right? There are certain situations we're not going to come on here. We're not the typical females in terms of we're not naive, right? We're not going to act like we live in a perfect world because we don't. There are predators and men are predators. I've listened to numerous conversations, and you cannot live in a world, and this is how my father even would have trained me. You cannot live in a perfect, we don't live in a perfect world. A lot of things are not right, but so you need to know that, okay, for example, if you don't put yourself in certain situations. There's a difference between putting yourself in a situation and just outright changing a narrative. Because, for example, right, if you there was a thing the other day with Jacure, right? And he basically had like two girls were basically, I think something happened, I don't know the whole full story, but something happened and they asked Jacure to pick them up or whatever. And they were staying with him for the weekend at his house, and there he was basically saying that you need to give me some right now and you take me for eat it, because apparently the girls didn't want to sleep with him, right? So to me, not saying he was right, but though you put yourself in those situations, because we all know what Jackie went to prison for. Like, hello. So you put, and I'm not saying it's right, right? But you know the type of people that you're interacting with, and as a woman, you put yourself in certain situations. And a lot of this conversation, and it might drag me, this may make you guys uncomfortable, but as a woman, we know when not to put ourselves in situations, because me never did a go female, right? That's a number one.
Agreed.
Yeah, like I'm not going to go to his house just because of the speculation around his name. It could, even if he never do it, no, it's associated with him, and that alone would make me leave that situation alone. But this situation that we're speaking about, where if you're not a good girl, if you're not a certain upstanding person or what they consider a good girl, then you are not allotted certain justices. I don't know how the narrative changed from domestic violence to slut shaming.
Yes.
I
No,
don't
and
know
then
why it became that.
what I will add to this is that I would want to say a week or two ago, there was a sex worker that was founded here in Jamaica in what would be considered like a quote unquote whorehouse or brothel, essentially.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
just like,
I saw that.
what for me, at first it was just like lady founded in hotel or motel or whatever it wants to be, and then all of a sudden it was just like sex worker founded, blah blah blah. I mean, like I feel like what does that have to do with her being founded? Like I'm trying to understand what her profession it has to do with her being founded. A lady was just founded. She was killed. At the end of the day, she was murdered. Was she murdered by a client? Was she murdered by a friend? Was she murdered by a family? No one knows. But I'm almost sure that the story is gonna be like, wow, why she put herself in these situations with these random men. I understand that as well, but it's just like it's still wrong. She's still, and I'm not saying whatever her line of work is it's great or anything like that. But I'm saying to you that she's also dead. This is also, this
A person.
murder was committed on a person.
My issue with that, I understand. All right, I can understand the public outrage around a sex worker found dead, because every day sex workers put themselves in compromising situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their line of work puts them in compromising situations. So I understand even that outrage, Zine. But the issue is my issue as it relates to that is I know, I promise it, I can put my head on the block to say the police are not investigating that.
Or not
I
are not
can put,
working
I
as
can
hard as they should because they just think that,
I
oh,
can, oh yeah, oh shit, yeah, man. I can put my head on the block to say that no investigation is happening. They're not doing anything. They're comfortable with how things like not comfortable, but they're just doing the bare minimum
mm-hmm.
because I know they're not going to do much about it. And then it boils back down to how we view things. Because with the situation at hand, right? I was with this person. This is my boyfriend, fiance, whatever he was to her. And I got abused. I came out and I spoke out and I said I got abused. I need that to be something that is taken seriously. I need that to be something that is research. I need that to be something that is investigated
Right.
because it's just very, I'm just like, she has been a popular man's woman or girlfriend all this time. How all of a sudden, when she says something, all of these
Right.
videos and everything drop, I don't
And
understand.
then he's
And
gonna say
listen,
that he didn't release it whilst having a whole entire slandering session, admitting to having copied her phone and having shared all the private messages she would have had with other people over the period that she was allegedly still engaged to him. So it's just like, but sir, but you just incriminate yourself as someone who would be capable and have the means and the necessary evidence
fact.
to go ahead and release this information. Now, we don't know who did it, blah, blah, blah. Fine, great. But the thing is, we still have to take into account the serious accusation that is being made. Like, is somebody going to investigate it? I see a lot of people saying, so why she never got the police and who shackle to the relationship, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, well.
You know who me hate the most? Hey, we need for other session called drag or something. When we just get for drag uno. You see the woman them, hey, me hate uno the most.
Yeah, because he has
Yeah,
a lot of female followers. And to be
me
honest with
hate,
you,
no,
there
me
in the
hate them like
comments,
a
and
dose of
I know what I did
poison.
specifically as I went on when I looked at the info because I wanted to see what was happening here, and I looked, I made sure I looked in the comments. I'm just no sir, and me alone can't think say this doesn't seem right, and I look in the comments and they were just like, wow, really, really, really supporting him, like stands at this point, and I was just like, okay, well, do we know the
And you
fact?
know
Know
what
the
is
fact
crazy?
here?
You know what is crazy, Jody? The fact that you see, man, let me tell you something, woman. I'm gonna tell you something. Listen to me clearly. Hear the words of my voice. Them man, yeah, them stick together no matter what. You hear me say? No matter what, they stick together.
She did say
Them
that because she did say she went to some of his friends and they shunned her. They did not take it seriously.
I'm not even
They
talking
ignored
about
it.
friends. I'm talking about people. Friends make sense. At least me can't even appreciate the friend name because I can't appreciate the friends because it's like you think you know your friends, so you don't think they're gonna do certain things. So me can't even understand that. Me can't make them get away with that. But you see, let me tell you who me I thought. You see the man them on social media, the man them on Twitter, the man them on Instagram were just the man them on Instagram went, don't know Maja hype from nowhere. Them don't know this man. Them just choose to believe because they see something sexual or them say, oh, should I give bun or
Right.
whatever. What that have to do with
That
anything?
has it,
We have
it's two
I hate
separate
the fact
claims.
I hate the fact that there was a domestic violence claim and it has become slut shaming.
Yes.
It has become slut shaming. And I'm not saying, because I'm not saying that what she did was right. And I'm not saying
No.
that whatever, don't get me
Exactly.
wrong,
No.
right?
Yeah.
But it's a separate
Case. It's a
issue.
separate
It is
issue.
a separate issue. And
It
I
can't be
hate the
used to
fact
justify the actions.
I hate the jokes. I hate the fact that there's social media jokes. How would you feel to know that somebody abused somebody you knew? Even if them was quote unquote, I don't even like to use that word, but what you guys call whoring,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whatever you guys call that, right? If they're quote unquote what society calls a whore or whatever, that means them don't deserve justice. That means that they should go on social media every day and see like be the butt of jokes after coming out and saying something about domestic violence. None of them never want one. Nobody him don't answer the claims. Him don't answer the claims and say yes or no.
You
It's
know,
just a bag of
no,
borrow.
he made a small line in his whole session of 45 minutes or 47 minutes. Really just doing her dirty. He went ahead and said, oh, I did not I mean, that was it. And then, of course, he went into his Bible scriptures, which is always indicative of somebody who is very
Listen to
evil.
me say, God's supposed to look down on and squint up in my eye. But not going like me perfect, you know, can squint up in my eye for me enough time.
But I think,
But
like, but also, what was I gonna say? I think it was kind of like, sir, as well. The whole time I was also thinking to myself, like, so you really come on, Algo's internet and showcase this, as well as like, you couldn't just take it in
you
private.
know, I
Like,
know it. No,
you
you know
couldn't.
is what too. You know what too? I just feel like, listen, I'm sorry, I don't want to be the two podcasters who bash men, but this is a you men are trifling. This is
And
the
no, he was
episode where I have to.
narcissistic. He's very
No,
narcissistic.
you men are narcissistic and trifling because even look at Tory Lanez. How do you how do you be accused of shooting somebody in the foot and in the same breath you're still trolling them? You're
Yeah,
currently in court. I see men talking about how why wasn't he arrested? Why wasn't he was arrested? He's currently in a court case. Don't you know how court cases work?
yeah. But my
Once he can show that he's not a flight risk, he's gonna get bail. Like educating himself before the set. Let me tell you, it's so mind blowing to me how these men stick together.
little.
They will not know each other, and may I tell you, sir, they will stick. Men, and it's so sad to me because women we chastise each other so much.
You
But you
know
see
what?
them man, yeah, them stick together. Because even I was just like, how can you women just be in the comments based on you guys don't know these men?
No,
You
not
don't know
even.
Tory Lanez, you don't know Magic, you don't know a lot of the men that you're defending,
And we're not saying
right?
he did it. Like, obviously, we have no proof, and then
We're
more proof
not
than
saying
they
he
did.
did it. My issue is the fact that it can't even be a consideration in your heads. You guys can't even it can't be a consideration in your heads that he did it. It's just crazy how I just don't like the fact that somebody has come out and said domestic violence and it has become she's a whore. How, like, I don't understand how the conversation changed. It's truly even, and I even want to recall, like, when I was thinking about this topic, I was thinking about, remember Kiki Palmer? Kiki Palmer came out, I think, 3 years ago, right? And said that she did a video shoot with Trey Songz, and he was very abusive towards her, or it was very abusive, where he was, it was disrespectful, abusive, whatever, like sexually abusive, whatever, right? She went on the Breakfast Club and spoke on that, and they dragged her. I don't even remember. I don't want to lie. Like, let me Google the year, but they dragged her, right? And then take it to 2020. Trey Songz is accused. A lot of women came out and accused Trey Songz of sexual
So
abuse,
many
and
other
I'm just
things,
like,
yeah.
and it's just like there's also something to be said that when like white women tears versus black women tears, because a white woman, and yeah, I'm gonna take it there. A white woman can come out and say, "Oh, this look at the Central Park Five, right? Look at the Central Park Five, or look at Emmett Till." A
Yeah.
white woman can come out and say, "Oh, this happened to me, and it's taken so seriously. It's whatever. It's taken so seriously." But when a black woman comes out, we're supposed to be strong. Like, it's so
No,
ridiculous to
because I
me,
mean
and
the
it's so
narrative is more
annoying.
that she no forever who's saying so it's either them saying he didn't do it, and then they're also saying, oh well, she deserved it after what I've seen. So it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
so he did it or what? Like, let me understand.
yeah, like, I just don't understand how the issues even correlate, right? And then it's all of these issues is just really from a systematic way of thinking, because even Amber Rose, right? Amber Rose spoke, I think she was on a podcast. I don't remember the name of the podcast, but she spoke on being raped by her boyfriend and not taken seriously. So she basically said that she would have had sex with this person numerous times, but one night she didn't feel like it, and he raped her. And she basically said that, yes, we've had sex before, yes, whatever, but she was in a relationship with him and he raped her. And
And
she said
he
that
would be taken, if she reported this, it would be taken seriously. And it's
it
just
would be
because
taken seriously because,
but
oh yeah,
you've consented before, so what's the issue now? You know?
what's the issue now? And it's just like, I need people to understand that if I've had sex with you 100 times before and I say no, it's my right. I'm not, nobody is, oh, you're not even a pick me them where you have you're not entitled to anybody.
Yeah.
You're not entitled to anybody. And I want people to stop thinking, or men to stop feeling
I think
like
it
you're
stems from
entitled to
that. I
women.
actually think it stems from the feeling of entitlement and ownership of persons' body.
And it's not only that. I've never, and I don't know if you've ever seen this. I've seen a woman call the police for domestic violence, and she called the police, and they act like, oh, and I'm not saying you have victims of domestic violence who go back to their abusers 100 times,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and I'm not going to act like, on the contrary, playing devil's advocate, you do have women that make it hard to take them seriously, because some women lie.
Mm-hmm.
You have some women who lie and make it bad on other women and make it hard
Right.
for us to be
But it
taken
has to be
seriously.
treated separately. Every single
But
thing
it
case
has
has to
to
be
be treated
treated
separately,
separately.
right? I even challenge that because, for example, right, Black Lives Matter, right? Trayvon Martin, he had a little bit of weed in his pocket,
Mm-hmm.
right? Weed is an illegal substance. Does that mean he deserved to be killed?
Mm-hmm.
No, right? So just because you have instances in the movement where the black men were not, or involved in illegal activity. For example, there was one guy, I don't remember his name, but he was involved in like a minor robbery, and they killed him. When he didn't have a gun, he didn't have a knife, he didn't have anything. He just was involved in a minor robbery, and they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't deserve to die. They could have detained him,
Right.
right? It was a minor robbery. I think he robbed somebody's wallet or something, like petty thief.
Mm-hmm.
It was something small, and I'm not saying he's
Right.
right,
No.
but
Exactly.
he didn't deserve to die. And it's the same thing. This, even though you do in the movement, you do have some women who push the movement back. You have some people who push the movement back with their actions by lying or doing things that are not in accordance and making it harder for society to believe them. But it doesn't mean that they should not be taken seriously.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that this should be a separate. These should be separate issues. It should be one umbrella of, okay, justice for women. And yes, in everything where there's justice for somebody, there are going to be a few bad apples. But I don't like the fact that when it comes to violence against women or anything like that, it's like the first thing men say, look how much woman lie, look how much woman lie.
Yeah.
Well, how would you feel if when somebody says, oh, this black person was killed? That's the same way the white people them thinking,
Mm-hmm.
oh, look how much black people thief, look how much black people steal,
Right.
look how much whatever.
So
That's
it's
what they're
warranted.
thinking.
Yeah.
No, it's not warranted. It's two separate issues. And I want us to use our brains and start separating
You know
issues
what? I
and
don't
know.
understand why it is that he didn't just. I'm sorry. This whole time I'm just thinking like, so we had to go and do all of this, like to deflect from the situation at hand, like what, or even if it is that she defamation of character and she's out here telling lies on you, this is alleged, and she's making people turn on you. This is disrupting your business, blah blah blah, your credibility as a as a person, as an comedian, all of that. So you couldn't just sue her? If that's the case, like why we doing all of this? Like, is it that we're like,
Them
let
live
me
a
tell you
career.
down? Like,
It's
I'm
not
gonna tell
only
you
that
down.
too.
I'm gonna tell you down because with this now go down a fight. And it's just like, it's not, well, obviously both persons, well, it's not mature. It's also unbecoming of somebody who's, I feel like, where's his PR team? Like, I just want to know, like, did y'all really make him go out here and do all of this? Like, why?
God no. And I'm just like, no, not even outside of that. I mean, even if she's lying, we need to speak on the issue at hand. You know what my problem is? The issue at hand is not being addressed or
No, that
investigated.
gone.
The issue at hand is so far gone that it's just like, and then we've just forever labeled this girl a whore.
Yes.
Like, she's forever labeled. Let me tell you something. And you say, as a woman, you have to be so careful because it takes nothing. It takes nothing for you to be labeled a whore.
Yeah.
You could have a friend who's promiscuous, and you're with her and say, oh yeah man, them whore there. You could have something else. Like, it takes nothing for women to be addressed a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
It takes nothing.
Nothing.
And it takes nothing. So it's just like, I just don't like the narrative. I don't like the narrative when it comes to certain things. Even and then the laws, because of how we think and how we operate, the laws have reflected it. The rape law was recently changed in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Recently changed. I personally, I have a friend that was raped by somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not friends anymore, but like I knew like she was raped by somebody, and the person is still out, hanging out
Out and about.
with a popular person in society,
Mm-hmm.
a popular person, and I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. He's been no. When I say I don't get it, he's been to parties. He's been to parties. Oh, by the way, he's been arrested for rape twice, and he's still on the streets prying with this popular person. I need some. Let me tell you, and it's something I'm so passionate about, and I'm hopefully going into 2021. This is something that a movement that I can be a part of because I think we need a sex offenders registry.
Yes,
I
sir.
I need to be able to look. I need to be able to look up the gardener that's coming into my house to cut my lawn. I need to be able to look up if you're King Alarm. I need to be able to run your badge number. Even if I pay for the service, I need to be able to run your badge number before I let you into my house.
Mm-hmm.
I need to check if you are a convicted rapist. There needs to be even schools. Yes, doing a police record is something, but we all know how the police record office go. Right in Jamaica, that's what I'm speaking about.
That's
Our
okay,
police
and not everyone is required to do something like that. So it's
and not
not.
everyone
Yeah.
is, especially if you're doing like small handyman work, nobody's
No,
gonna request
yeah.
a
No,
police
or just
record from
even
a handyman.
most jobs. I can tell you most. I've only gone to one job in my entire life that has required of me a police record. That's it.
Exactly. And I'm just like, you could be even something like an office building. I need to know if I have to stay in my office and work late. Me supposed to can look
No,
and
but
see, okay, that woman
I don't
there,
even
that
want it
woman there
like,
stay.
no, I don't even want it to, you don't even have to be one of those persons. It also can be your manager, it can be,
Listen,
your neighbor, it can be anybody. It literally can be anybody because there are lots of persons who are apparently and seemingly very put together and all of that who are going around and doing very evil things. So it really,
and I think there needs to be a sex offenders registry, and there needs to be something when you've been convicted of rape or accused or arrested, something or sexual abuse. It needs to be highlighted. It needs to be something that people listen. Taxi men, the taxes that these women are taking, people are getting like women
they're
are
being
literally
on the
targeted,
daily.
and it's so sad. Even I saw a
No,
tweet
but
from
that's
a
a
girl
whole
the
different
other day.
conversation because most of these taxi men are owned by officials. Taxis are owned by officials, so
And that's why I say it's a systematic thing because it's like it. I don't even think people understand how many issues or how many things this is associated with. And it's so funny because you can't see anything outside of your daughters. You can't see, no, you can't, for your daughters, you can't see anything outside because even I have a friend, right? And she lives in an apartment complex and they raped a woman in the apartment complex across from her. Zine? When it happened, everybody came out, and they basically, so apparently like four women have
so
been
was it
raped in that
robbed?
area.
Was she what
No,
she
she was raped. So four
but
women
then
have
what
been
they
raped.
snuck into the house? Like what how
Yeah, that's basically they snuck into her house at like 3 a.m.
okay,
right?
okay.
And when it happened, she came after the person left there. She screamed out and she ran out and screamed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you, there were four persons in that vicinity where she lived, where she lived, that was raped before, and she's just like, well, she's a rental with she has two women. It's her and her roommate, which is a female. And I'm like, you as a landlord, you're renting this place to two females, or not even the landlord, because they want to make money. There should be something where you can basically look up and say, in this area, what has happened. There should be some safety measures or something in place. It should not be, because if there should be some documentation to highlight the fact that, hey, this area is, a
No,
female.
definitely nobody's gonna do that because at the end of the
Like,
day, it's about money making. But I mean, that's an extreme ask. For me, it's just a registry. It's just a registry for them.
a registry will be good.
Anybody
A
can go.
registry will be
You
good.
type in them name, whatever, whatever. because you want to know that your children as well are not being exposed to people who could be potentially harming them in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and if you've been accused of domestic violence, and you don't even have to be as far as rape. If you've been accused of domestic violence, many for see it, because many for know before me go on a date with you, so I can check your name and say, oh, this person was accused of domestic violence, and let me have the choice. A lot of these men who have been accused of domestic violence, they've done it so many times before. And the thing is too, it's so hard for the victims. It's so hard for the victims to come forward because we live in that system that basically blatantly tells you we don't take this seriously. We don't really take this seriously. We don't
No,
really
it's
no,
a
we don't really
man's
take.
world, and we're just living in it. Hello.
Yeah, like it's just like even how domestic violence on a whole is handled by law enforcement is it's like, oh yeah, man, like calm them, talk to you. And I'm not saying that sometimes the victims make it bad because they keep going back to the abusers. But if you know anything about psychological abuse, if you know anything, and I feel like people don't take the time out to educate themselves, and we have a heavy rape culture in Jamaica. And when we say rape culture, it's not. Don't get me wrong. For the people who are listening, it's not a thing where we're saying that we have a bag of man a walk on a rape woman.
Right.
No, rape culture is when you see a woman, you sexualize a woman for no reason. You see a woman and you say, yeah, man, are batty fatty, things that you could keep in your head. I know my ass is fat. I don't need you to tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? There are
Yeah, I
things that
mean,
you,
there's the catcalling is some on
the
extreme
catcalling,
levels.
the touching, the unwanted touching. How do you see a woman and just slap her on her bottom
Or
just
even
because
not to even touch her on her arm, like just touch,
touch?
just touch.
Don't touch me. You don't know me. I don't know
Right.
you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Even if
You
I
get what
know
I'm
you, don't touch me.
like? Don't touch me. Like I don't do that. So it's just basically like I don't understand like how we've gone so far because and then this whole even when you look at the Meg the Stallion thing, when you look at the whole Kirby Maja Hypes thing, you just see that them just not like we like me don't know
Yeah.
it's literally so sad
And
because I don't understand how even Meg's situation became so. I'm not saying it wasn't confusing, and I'm not saying whatever, but it's the fact that it's being handled by the courts. Make it play out in court before they make on a decision about who
right,
aside.
right.
Make it play out in court.
And I really hope, and I actually also hope that the situation that we're mentioning now plays out in court as well with Major.
Oh no, I need it to because
I'd love to see what becomes of it. I'd love to see, really I need answers. I feel like I need answers after all this. Like I just want to know like what happened here. Like help me understand what really
I hope she has
happened.
a good lawyer because one, there is that is her what do you call that when your sex tape is released without your consent? What is that?
I don't know, but I know it's considered a cybercrime.
A cybercrime,
Yeah.
yeah. Like yeah, no, it's a cybercrime that was not did not consent to that,
Mm-hmm.
and they have means and ways to find out the source of things. So I'm
Of
gonna need
course.
them to do that.
Well,
I'm gonna need them to do that, and I'm gonna need them also. This needs to go to court because this makes no sense.
and at the end of the day, all girls deserve
And
justice.
if she's lying, she needs to be in trouble.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, don't act like the word whatever.
No.
The fact is, my issue is the fact that
Don't discount her
we
story.
don't discount her story. Don't discount her story, and it needs to go to court. And we know, right? I'm a strong believer in the fact that if a woman lies, right, she needs to go to prison, or she needs to have some fine, or something needs to happen if she basically lies, right? But then I have two thoughts on that. There's an issue that I have with that because it's just like it can happen, it can actually happen, and then like you have been raped by this person, but the law just makes it a thing where the victim is ending up being blamed or slut shamed, or they try to make the victim look like, so there are those instances. I'm not sure if you watched the Netflix series, what's it called, Unbelievable. Did you watch that? I'm not sure if you remember. It was basically like
No, I didn't watch it.
okay. No, it was basically it was basically a girl, and she got raped, and she literally had to prove that she went through so much. I won't spoil it for you guys. You should watch it. She went through so much to prove she got raped. And I'm just like, the law enforcement wasn't on her side. Like, it's, trust me, trust me, it is such, I don't know. I don't like the violence or the
Yeah.
connotation or everything that is associated when it comes to women. Because trust me, you would not, when you have your daughters, when you have your mothers, when you have, and them man you love one, like them love their mother more than anybody. If you in, and you know what is another issue when it comes to this? I say it all the time that there are men who don't like women. You date women, and you're not a homosexual, but you don't like women. So you're with this person, and you don't like women. Like you basically are dating a woman, but you don't appreciate her. You don't think she should have a mind. You don't think she should have thoughts.
Yeah, but I feel like that's going to be a whole other conversation in itself. I feel like we need to have a separate episode for that because that's some deep rooted issues that's
Yeah,
and expressing every aspect of their lives. But for me, I just want to see everybody get justice. I not just good girls, not just quote unquote bad girls. You must be shunned or anything like that. Everybody deserves justice. All females deserve justice. Tried and true. If it is that you're lying, or if it is that you wrongfully accuse someone, then let that come to light and let there be a lesson. However, don't discount anyone's case testimony because it's still powerful. It's still a serious case, a dire situation that needs to be fixed because we don't know what else it is that other people are capable of doing if it is that they're allowed to continue to do their wrongs. You really can save a life at this point. So yeah, that's my take on it.
yeah, facts. I agree with everything you said. I mean, sorry we were so heavy this week. We're usually more laughing, but yeah, I just never like the vibes. I mean, yeah. So that was your trending topic. I promise you we'll be more happy next week, but we need to hear this. Um, okay, so we're jumping into our listener questions. This one is actually pretty funny. Um, so this listener says, if my boyfriend does not want to kiss me after giving him fellatio, right? What should I do?
I
Because
don't even
that's a
know. I
very,
actually don't even know how to answer this question. I'm just like, huh?
I don't know how to answer this
Like,
question either.
when did we get here?
So for those who don't know, fellatio, Google it, aka brain, giving brain, that's what we call it in Jamaica, or head. I think I can say that. Yes. So they, so. The issue at hand is maybe I personally, when I get that done to me, I don't like the person really kissing me after either. Not necessarily, all right, it's not necessarily like it just kind of feel weird to be tasting myself. Is that weird? I don't know. Like, am I? This is such a weird conversation to have.
This is very
But
weird. Like, at this point, I'm just like, do you answer this in private? Like,
like I don't know. I personally I think that's a conversation that you guys need to have. Maybe it's nothing to do with you. Maybe it's nothing personal. It's nothing to do with you. It just basically is something that he doesn't like, the sloppiness. But I don't think that is a major deal breaker. Like him, it's not like if him scorning you and being like, oh, gross, or running a certain way or disrespecting you. I get that, but I don't think it's like a major deal breaker. I don't know. For me, I would just basically have a conversation about it.
yeah, have a conversation, please.
Yeah, I do. I would just have a conversation about it. I don't think it's anything to really. I don't know. That was what we got this week. So that was the most interesting one actually. So I said, "Hey, you are funny." But I mean, I hope we helped. I know Jody is currently uncomfortable. Um, I know Jody is currently uncomfortable. She does not like
Definitely.
to have these conversations. I'm more open. But yeah, I think that's something that you can just talk to him about. I mean, or leave him. I don't know what to tell him. Or maybe him thinking of other man. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried. So yeah. As long as I kiss you before, if it's like a no kiss thing, then him not respect you. But yeah. Anyways, that was what's this, episode 13? Episode 13 of the Good Girl podcast. Any last things? Does any closing remarks, Jody? Anything?
We want justice. No, but that's a laughing matter. We want justice. Like,
No, facts.
please just, don't be so wrapped up in your misogynistic point of view that you can't see another side, another feel. You can't feel for others. You can't feel for another gender. And it's not about even gender, just in general, just can't feel for another person because you're so caught up in your own point of view. I want you to take everything with a grain of salt. Don't believe everything you see, but also just be able to can really pick sense from nonsense. And stop, guys. Please stop going on the internet, Aldor's internet, and you know, just slandering people for no reason. Like, it's not nice. Stop it, man. Male and female, anybody, just stop. Like,
Yeah.
these are private messages as well as anybody, anything private. I also believe in this is something I also saw the other day. Like, you screenshotting a conversation, a private conversation with somebody, good or bad, it's wrong. Sorry,
Facts.
it's wrong. Like, it's wrong. Like, oh, look at this guy telling me foolishness, or look at this girl. Da, da, da. It's wrong, guys. Like, people told you this is a private conversation. But last time I checked, WhatsApp ain't on it. WhatsApp isn't broadcast to anybody else but the person who's reading the message. So just stop it. Please stop.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that we should just have more patience when it comes to things and just try. Like, you're never in a situation, so it's just like, and yeah, when you put things out there, people are gonna comment, people are gonna share them opinion. I understand that, but we just want us kind of reason better. Like, the fact is, we need to know how to separate the issue, and we're just not like when something starts out as one thing and it travels and it becomes this thing. So we just need to one, focus on the issues at hand and be cognizant of the things that we're saying, because you have to remember at the end of the day, this person is still allegedly a victim. So we don't
Yes.
want anything, and you wouldn't want anything to happen, God forbid she'd do something to harm herself
Yes.
because of something that you would have done, or the backlash or
Yes,
whatever.
because let's not forget Kelani, yeah? When y'all
Yeah.
were bashing her because she was supposed to live with two men at the same time, and it turns out that it wasn't correct. Yeah? And
Yeah.
then y'all threatened her on the internet until the point where she attempted suicide and ended up in the hospital. Thank God she's a healthy woman now who has a bundle of joy and purpose, more purpose in life, and know that, she's a lot stronger and whatever. But these are the things that y'all just need to relax and just stop it. Like, a cybercrime has already been committed against her. Please don't go ahead and further attack the lady for her private doings.
Yeah, for sure. And that was episode 13 of the Goodgal podcast. We will see you next week.
Yes, bye.
Bye. Enjoy your, oh no, it's not enjoy your Christmas yet.
I
But bye.
was gonna say that.